Today, I brought my whole family with me to set up at a vendor market. My daughter was in charge of the filming. So this morning, I kind of overslept, so I was running a little bit late. So I asked my husband to come with me, and then, of course, we had to bring the kids, but they were all pretty helpful. Um, Here, he's putting on the bed risers because I find that tables that are higher work better for people just browsing, and it's like the customer doesn't have to look down. And I think they appreciate that. I'm not sure. If you've ever been to a vendor market, let me know. Do you appreciate the higher tables? And the kids are back. They went to the water fountain for a little bit just to get the little one out the way, but they're back and here to cause a little bit of chaos. My daughter actually has her own small business. She sells earrings and bracelets, so she sets up her table alongside of mine. I usually try to bring her to each market to help her get exposure to. So at this point, my son started to get antsy. My husband had to go take a phone call really quick, so my son just started to walk around and touch things and kind of just try to figure out what he could do because he couldn't help set up. So at this point, they all left me to go to Starbucks for a coffee break. But it was okay because they brought me back coffee, which I really needed. And honestly, it's a little easier to set up with them being out the way. My daughter came back and asked if I needed help, which I did, was greatly grateful for. But she was just hogging the fan. She said it was so hot. My son had to go home because he was getting into too much. And then at this point, my neighbor showed up and her tent was kind of, I don't know, too big for the space. I don't know if they weren't measured properly, but we just did some maneuvering to try to help her get in. And then
Huh?
it seemed to
You
work.
gonna keep up
We
with him the
all
whole time?
made it
I'm
okay.
not.
And
I'm not
meanwhile, I'm
saying.
trying not to get
You
into
say what you do.
the neighbor space
Why
next to
are
me
you?
to the right. She was really
Because I'm not
friendly though, very
trying
nice.
to
I
hold up,
love
keep up
all
with
my
him
vendor
for
neighbors.
several hours.
I don't think I've
He's gonna
really
get
had any
bored
negative
and.
experience with vendor neighbors, minus
Huh?
one, but it wasn't even really a negative experience. It was just, they just gave off negative energy and attitude. But other than that, I always had a good experience and love my vendor neighbors. And here's my setup. Here's my blind dates with a book, my tote bags. At the bottom, I have some clearance keychains, my notebooks. On this table is my daughter's table. She sells bracelets and earrings. She's more and more makes it. If you want to follow her, she's on Instagram and YouTube. Here's my stickers. I usually sell them one for three or two for five. My bookmarks. I do allow people to mix and match. They are also one for three, two for five. These are my magnetic bookmarks. I sell them for five. My glass can cups, which I think I love and were a bestseller today. These are my acrylic bookmarks, my mirror car decals, and this is a keychain board. I actually made this keychain board myself, and I love how it turned out. So yeah, let me know what you think, or if you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. Thanks for watching.